Gaurav Ahluwalia was chased by a Pakistan's inter-services intelligence member, that is the ISI. The ISI has stationed multiple persons in cars and bikes outside his residence to harass and intimidate him as well. This is the latest update coming, and these are the visuals on your screens right now, coming in from Islamabad, Pakistan as well, where the vehicle of Indian diplomat Gaurav Ahluwalia was chased by Pakistan's ISI member. Let's go across to our executive editor Abhishek Kapoor, who has more on this. So Abhishek, this is a case of an Indian diplomat being harassed and intimidated by an ISI member. Take us through the details.
Well, the bare bones details that we have are these: that India's Charge Affairs, which is effectively acting Ambassador Gaurav Ahluwalia, his car was chased by Pak ISI operatives, and it seems that he was followed on cars and bikes, and there was clear intention to intimidate and harass him. I believe it seems to be a fallout of two Pakistani spies who were working in Pakistani High Commission here in New Delhi, having been expelled by India, declared persona non grata 3 days back. It seems Pakistan is getting back in the only ways it knows, which is unbecoming of Vienna Convention, which is unbecoming of the conduct of diplomats. And it seems that the Pakistani deep state and their intelligence agency, ISI, just does not understand basic diplomatic protocol to escalate it to a level where even the Charge Affairs vehicle is chased, and there is an intent to kind of intimidate and harass him is absolutely uncalled for. And while the two Pakistanis who were sent back, or three actually, who were sent back by India after declaring them persona non grata 3 days back, Richa, they were caught red-handed indulging in activities not in line with their duties in the mission, which essentially means that they were actually carrying out spying activities on behalf of their country. There was enough evidence by way of money that was recovered from them, the gadgets that were recovered from them, and other incriminating documents which they were collecting on some journalists, on some military officers, and some bureaucrats. So I believe while what we did was essentially a busting of a spy racket that was running from inside Pakistan High Commission, chasing and intimidating or trying to intimidate our Charge Affairs in Islamabad in this manner, it reflects poorly on Pakistan, and it would be in the fitness of things if they apologize and immediately stop these activities. Obviously, this would be taken up at the diplomatic level as well. We are being told that in all likelihood there would be a démarche to the Pakistani ambassador here, High Commissioner here, as to the manner in which our Charge Affairs has been treated in Islamabad. But apart from that, also Pakistan, I believe, is I would say, not in, or Pakistani government at least is not in control, as always, of its agencies, and the agency is trying to show who's the boss there.
Absolutely, Abhishek. And if we do remember that in May 2019 as well, a similar kind of incident that happened of harassment that Pakistan has now in a way repeated itself. Can this also be taken as a retaliation to two of their officials who were sent back from the Pakistani embassy? And clearly this seems like an act of cowardice as well, trying to harass and intimidate the vehicle of India's diplomat, Gaurav Ahluwalia, who was chased by Pakistan's ISI member.
Well, no, not retaliation, Richa. One would say this is stupidity. I mean, retaliation happens if there is something wrong that has been done to you, but there is no wrong. The three of their staffers were caught red-handed indulging in spying activities. There is evidence to prove it, and it can be provided to the Pakistanis that they ask for it. But what is more important is that this is not the first time that this is happening. Pakistan is known for harassing diplomats and Indian diplomats and trying to corner them. We have seen how they have bypassed all procedures of civil law in terms of convicting Kulbhushan Jadhav after having kidnapped him from the Iran border, the Balochistan-Iran border, and the manner in which they have carried out almost kangaroo court procedure in their military courts against Kulbhushan Jadhav. So, I mean, there would be a number of examples going back to Sarabjit and whatnot in terms of the manner in which the Pakistani deep state has really handled and tried to compromise their own government. So this, again, is another instance of the Pakistani agencies, specifically the ISI, trying to show who's the boss, actually compromising the official Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other mechanisms that are there that should ideally be dealing with the situation.
Absolutely, Abhishek. And doing it in their own country and in their own land is the easiest way out for Pakistan at this point, in a way, attacking the vehicle of an Indian diplomat, Gaurav Ahluwalia, who was chased by Pakistan's ISI member as well. In fact, they had also stationed multiple persons in cars and bikes outside his residence as well. So clearly, it seems like this is a clear act of intimidation and harassment on our Indian diplomat in Pakistan as well. Let's go across to Sriram Chaulia, who's also joining us over the phone line. Sir, your first reaction to this latest video that we have gathered here of the vehicle of an Indian diplomat being chased by Pakistan's ISI member, a clear act of harassment and intimidation by him.
Yes, and a violation of the Vienna Convention on the treatment of diplomats and diplomatic personnel. We need to take it up and escalate the matter and not let it lying down, because we had arrested some of their spies who are recently who were masquerading as diplomats here. And we know by their nature that they try to retaliate in a tit-for-tat fashion by going after our diplomats who are actually doing genuine work. So it's a matter of making sure that there is also a kind of a balance in this issue, where if they are trying to intimidate our diplomats, we should be immediately summoning their High Commissioner here in Delhi and giving them a notice about that this totally unacceptable treatment. And as we know, they are quite desperate right now because all their assets in Kashmir Valley have been gunned down. Most of their hardline jihadist proxies are on the run. So they are desperate and they are looking for some way to keep the Kashmir issue alive internationally, because they failed since Article 370 to make this a global, concern. And now through these kind of actions, they will try to keep the pot boiling and to make the international community sit up and say, well, there's a problem, there's a dispute between these two countries, they're fighting at the border, there are tensions going up between the diplomats. So I think we have to play it coolly, but at the same time, make sure that they know the limits to which we will tolerate this kind of misbehavior with our diplomats. And in the past, they have been very nasty with our diplomats, and we have also had to, retaliate and expel some of their staff from Delhi and from their consulates in India. So it's very important that they know that there is a red line that we're drawing, and beyond which we are not going to accept this kind of treatment. They need to, and their media has to be sensitized, because often the media parrots the official viewpoint of the ISI and of the military. And that is wrong, because they need to question why they are doing this. Why are they raising hostilities? We don't want hostilities with them. Just leave us alone.
Right. Absolutely. Dr. Sriram Chaulia, thank you so much for joining us here on Republic TV. In fact, viewers, we'll slip into a short break now. We'll come back to this very important story coming in from Islamabad, Pakistan.